Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our third seminar of the morning is presented by Taxi Stockholm and Connectel. We have with us Carl van Schutt, who is the Chief Technical Officer for Taxi Stockholm, joined by Linda Moser, Head of Sales for Connectel. Leave it to Candy.
Okay, welcome. Good to see you all. Anyone been to Stockholm?
I have.
You have? Sweden? Okay, interesting. You're more than welcome. So I'm Carl, and this is Linda.
My name is Linda. Really nice to meet you, and nice to be here. So probably hear me better now. Okay, so my name is Linda, and really nice to be here. We were just starting to, I'm just starting to apologize if there's something that you won't understand. We have something that we call Swinglish back home. I don't know if you ever heard about it, but it makes sense for all the Swedish people. It's just that we take the Swedish word and make it to English. And we do that, and everyone is just nodding and totally understand everything. For you guys, you would understand a thing. So if I do that, just ask and just interrupt me and say, what do you mean now? So it's really nice to be here. And today we're going to talk about our collaboration that we have together, Connectel and Taxi Stockholm. And it all started with a challenge, actually. That we at Connectel offered to compete with the current solution that the Taxi Stockholm had. We're going to leave you here, and we're going back to that in a couple of minutes, just to walk you through it. But a little bit about Connectel. We are out there as well, and we were founded in 2008, so we've been there for a while. And we are, of course, biggest here not here, but in Sweden. But we are in 3 continents and growing as every day is walking. For us, it's really important that we have satisfied customers and happy customers. So that's something that we work on every day with the heart of our business. And that's why it's really important for us that we're having our customer with us here on stage. So please, Carl, can you tell us a little bit about Taxi Stockholm?
Yeah, Taxi Stockholm is, I would say, it's the largest taxi company in Taxi Stockholm. It's founded in 1899, so we celebrate 125 years this year. It is the number one choice for the people in Stockholm, and we have 1,450 cars, 3,300 drivers, and we do about 20,000 trips every day. It is owned by the fleet owners, so we have like 800 fleet owners, and they can have one or more cars, and they own Taxi Stockholm, where I work, and it's the intention for Taxi Stockholm, the service organization, is not to make profit, but to make the fleet owners profitable. So everything we do when we supply IT, finance, marketing, everything we do for the fleet owners. So this is the setup. I don't know how common this is in the UK, but in Sweden it's very common.
Should I? Yeah.
Please switch. And we are a popular company. We have a lot of competition from the app companies, of course. If you go with your business, you go with Taxi Stockholm. If you go home from the restaurant in the evening, a lot of people, of course, choose the cheaper alternative. And a lot of these cheaper alternatives, they want to look like Taxi Stockholm. So right now we have a campaign in the airport and in the city. So it's both for tourists and people who travel in business to tell them, don't get ripped off, look for this brand. And every day we get several complaints to us, to our people call in and say, I had a really bad experience. It was too expensive or really low quality, whatever. And they think they go with Taxi Stockholm, and then we check the receipt, or if we had a car in that area, and we had no car. So they do believe they went with us, but they didn't. So we constantly work with suing a lot of other companies in Stockholm. And Sweden is a very regulated country, but in the taxi area, we are an exception. It's very open, and we, as a traditional taxi business, we suffer from this. And I can agree with the previous guy. What was his name? Yeah, I think he was very right in his analysis. Yeah, so that's about it. And if you have any questions, please ask.
I take one of the mics and go around the audience.
Sure.
Does anyone want to ask a question of Carl and Linda? We have one over here, gentleman over here.
Hi, yeah, I'm just curious. So there's no licensing with regards to vehicles or drivers in Sweden? Did I understand that?
It is. You must have it must be certified as a driver, and you need a taximeter. So that we have. Okay. But the difference between Sweden and Denmark, for example, in Sweden, you don't need a taximeter to be connected to the booking system.
Okay.
Which means that if you book an Uber, you can just you can put anything you like in the taximeter. In Denmark, it has to they have to be integrated. So you can look for yourself how much business Uber has in Denmark. Okay. So they choose another way.
Okay, thank you.
Have the microphone here for anybody? Can I see another hand? Sorry, gentlemen. This gentleman lady come all the way from Stockholm. I'm sure we can ask him a question.
Yeah, we can continue,
okay.
and then maybe we'll come some questions later on.
Okay.
But now you have my microphone.
I'm coming back with it now.
Anyway.
So we can go back to the challenge and the Voicebot.
Yes, exactly. So what we're going to talk about today. So we at Connected provides this taxi bot, as we call it, and it handles up to 80% of the bookings. Offers 24/7 service and provides overbooking protection. So that sounds really good, right? But it was actually not from the beginning. So it's been a bumpy road between us together. So Taxi Stockholm was Connected's first Voicebots customer, and this was a couple of years ago. You know that it had been happened a lot regarding AI and so on.
And it was a small supplier, so we were hesitating a little bit with that, but we got a good feeling, and also very knowledgeable supplier, so we gave them a chance to deliver this first Voicebot. And
was the Voicebot good?
No. Well, it saved us a lot of money. It was during the COVID, so I mean it was good. We could reduce some capacity in the call center. So it did its work, but it annoyed a lot of customers. So the drivers they had to listen to a lot of complaints from the customer.
What happened?
Then our the big phone company, who is a supplier for the total solution for our call center, they offered another solution, which was better. It was quicker, more responsive. So we switched to that one, and we used it until, what was it, February somewhere? Yeah.
So you left and went to a competition, and we continue working with our Voicebot. And as Kalle said, you choose us again in this year. So we had made some major improvements over the years, and we have built up the product and the confidence that we didn't have from before. You want to talk a little bit more about
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
I said if you want to come back and prove that your solution now is better than the current one, we are happy to give you back to business, because we said goodbye without in what do you say, good faith. But now with the supplier we had, the curve with the development of the product and the success rate, it was flattening out, so not much happened. So we gave them the chance to prove the solution, and we were actually astonished that we had such a good result. The previous supplier, they had good technique, they had Google, they were closely integrated with our call center solution, but this was so much better. So we went from a little bit above 40% to, I think we are on the next slide now.
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly. We're coming to that. We're coming to the results, exactly. But yeah, it went up really high from where you were from the beginning. And we're also going to show you, we have a little bit of a demo, so we're just going to also talk about this case and just show you how it can look like. So just be with me now, and hopefully the music and the sound will work.
Say goodbye to wait times, dropped calls, and lost business opportunities. Connecto's bot for taxi bookings is powered by cutting-edge speech recognition technology and can successfully handle up to 80% of your incoming calls. It flawlessly deciphers user inputs and can seamlessly handle any surge in errands, ensuring accuracy and reliability 24/7. Let's listen to a demo recording of a phone call between a customer and the bot.
Hi. Welcome to your voice assistant. Before we proceed, would you like to customize your journey, perhaps by adding a child car seat or opting for an extra large car? No. Are you looking to start your journey as soon as possible? Yes. Please provide the address from which you would like us to pick you up. Woodward Avenue 600. You mentioned Woodward Avenue 600. Is that correct? Yes. We've confirmed your booking. Your taxi will be dispatched to the provided address at Woodward Avenue 600. Thank you for choosing us for your travel needs, and we appreciate your call.
Monitor and track Voicebot performance in real time with our interactive live dashboard, allowing you to take control of your data and operational performance. To learn more about the features and functions available, download the Bot for Taxi Bookings product sheet on our website. Say goodbye to wait times, dropped calls.
So, what was the result then?
Yeah, we were in the previous solution, we had a bit above 40%. Now on the first trial, which was, we did some internal testing, of course, but we ended up with 77% of the booking during the first day. The next try, we ended up with 78%. And we took the decision to leave the old solution right away. The plan was to do some evaluation, but it was a slam dunk. So we switched right away, and we had a meeting with the management team, and when they did the trials, they sent a few audio clips, and one of them, we couldn't hear what the customer was saying, but the Voicebot actually picked it up. So we were really, really impressed. And also, it is better in every sense if it's a dialect, if people are a bit drunk. It is really performing well. So from time to time, we are above 80%, but every day we are well over 70% of the bookings. And then in the bookings where we don't succeed, we include the bookings where there is no taxi available. So then it's maybe a bit unfair to put that into the statistics. So in the morning and in the afternoon, we have some times where we have to restrict the number of bookings because we don't have enough cars.
And that's actually lead us into the next slide, because since this is a voice bot, everything is not working completely 100% as we should want to. So can you give us some example when the voice bot doesn't work so good?
Well, I told you about when we have no cars available. And also, there are some addresses where we get problems. But this voice bot is very much more intelligent when it comes to understanding the address by maybe the customer says two things to give it more precise. You can say maybe the subway station and the address. Then it picks up the combination. The previous solution was confused because it was kind of they were in contradiction a bit to each other, and then it gave up and sent it to operator instead. And then we also have people who do not want to speak to the bot and want to go directly to a human being. So we have some keywords that we pick up, and if you say operator, please, then or just say operator, then it will immediately connect you to the operator. It's an old taxi company, and we have a lot of old customers, and we are the last company with a call center in Stockholm, and where the call center people know the city. So some people really enjoy having this service, and we will continue respecting that. So we have no intention of removing the call center completely.
And also we had some problems with seagulls, but we're working on it. It actually continued to do the booking, but it took a little bit longer time because the seagulls were crazy. Really booking them.
Noisy,
really noisy. Yes. So why do you think the voice bot is so successful as it is?
Well, obviously it is a proven product. Recognizing the street names has been really refined along the years. And for example, we have some really complicated addresses, like the Boulevard of Gustav III, Gustav den Tredjes Boulevard in Stockholm. Such complicated addresses is no longer a problem. And also the combination, as I said, of having a point of interest and an address is really working fine right now. We have a good cooperation with the development team. At Taxi Stockholm, we have our own development team, both for back-end development and front-end. So they work closely together, and if we can improve something by doing changes in our back-end solution, we can provide it and have a good discussion with the Connectel. And we constantly are looking at the reason for calls that are not successful in the booking, and we do not only judge them by the reason they fail, but we judge them by trying to keep the customer satisfied. So we try to find those annoying things rather than maybe picking the one that is highest on the list. If you choose operator, for example, then maybe we shouldn't work on that. We choose the ones which makes the booking fail, and where the customer is actually willing to book via the voice bot. And since it works better now, we see that we have a curve is pointing upwards with people who accept using the voice bot. So I think over time that will continue to give us better numbers. And during the first test, some of our customers said walker or golf bag, And then we, Connectel, immediately added those words and put in logic to book an estate car instead of not understanding and sending to operator. I think we have a good cooperation, and from Taxi Stockholm we have been very clear with the importance of failing fast. If you fail fast, you don't get annoyed. So I think that goes for a lot of things when you introduce new technique. If there is a fallout, which is okay, then you will not get so annoyed, and maybe you are willing to try it again. So failing fast is really, that is a success point for this.
Yes. And we also have some next step that we'll talk about. You want to say something about that?
Absolutely. Well, we are displaying the performance for the call center, so they can evaluate at all time how it's working. And as I said, we have times where it's not possible to book a taxi direct because we have no available cars. If you would call to the call center, they would ask, well, I don't have any cars right now, but you can get one in 30 minutes. So this feature we are adding to the Voicebot as well. So you can get the offer. We can't give you a car right now, but are you willing to book in 30 minutes from now? So that will probably raise the number of successful bookings as well. We also have a solution for when that probably never happens in the UK, but sometimes our subway breaks down completely, and then you have a kind of a guarantee, so you can take a taxi and the subway company will pay for it. But if you end up in a subway station where you're not so familiar with street names or addresses, we will help the customer calling in to define which exit from the subway you are choosing. And in this case, it will be a high load on the call center. So if we can reduce some of that and also spend more time on dispatching the cars from the call centers, we will be more. It will be customer satisfaction and better for our drivers as well. We are adding fixed price now, so you can ask for a fixed price to the bot. And as I said, we are when we have available cars, we are normally above 80% success rate. With these changes, I think we will be able to reach 90%.
Yes, really looking forward to that.
Okay, can we start wrapping this up now? So would you like to ask any questions of Carl or Linda? We have, I'll come up with a microphone.
Yeah.
Speak up, I will hear you.
Yeah, I just two questions. One is the Voicebot multilingual.
Yeah, she's right, just purely for the video, so they can hear that. That's the point.
Cheers. Yeah, two quick questions. First, is the Voicebot multilingual? And second question, in the example video you showed, there weren't any sort of additional requirements. So I was just interested in more about how that process would work if the passenger had additional requirements, such as they were visually impaired, and how that information would get transferred to the driver.
It is multilingual, but we are so far only using it in Swedish because the major part is Swedish. We have very few calls in English or other languages.
But we having customers that having other languages as well, so not particularly just Taxi Stockholm. We have other customers in US and in Amsterdam and in Norway, so we have it in different kind of languages. Yes.
Yes, and for the what do you call it? We call it attributes. If you ask for a different thing like an estate or something specific, yes, it works fine. It's at Taxi Stockholm. We have modified it a little bit compared to the demo, so we will ask last if you need something additional, or so. And if you say any of these keywords like golf bag or walker, or there are a lot of other keywords, then we will suggest maybe people carrier or an estate car.
Okay, thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, and may I especially thank Carl Landlander coming from Sweden to introduce us to the world of automation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.